Phishing attacks are one of the most common and the easiest ways for an attacker to attempt to gain access to your system. You've probably all heard the term, but just in case you haven't, phishing is where an attacker impersonates a legitimate service that you or your business trust and use, like your bank. Spear phishing is an even more focused version of phishing. So the attacker in this case is selecting a specific individual in your organization, it might be you, as a target beforehand. They research that person using publicly available information like your Facebook page or your website, and they craft a customized spear phishing email to that person using what they've learned about that person online to make it look even more legitimate. This is an example. This email here is supposedly from US Bank. It's not from US Bank, but it certainly looks like it could be. So they're saying, this email here is saying, this is a service message regarding your online account. Please read. This is another example. It's supposedly from Amazon, but it's not. In both of these cases, there's some red flags that can help you and your employees realize that there's a good chance that these are phishing emails. So first off, check the actual email address that these are coming from. You can see that it says it's coming from US Bank here, but if you look at the actual email address, it's actually coming from someone at lehigh.edu. So that's a big red flag. That should be the first thing that you automatically just delete it. But if you don't notice that at first, the subject line is also a red flag. It's fairly generic, for one. And two, it uses exclamation point, which is a frequent red flag, not always, but frequent. Another red flag is it's got two pieces of, it's got a period and an exclamation mark there, which no reputable organization would ever do. They also say, dear valued customer. Usually, not always, but usually if it's your bank, they'll say, dear Alice, and then go on with their message. They're also saying, please find attached, download the attached file and fill in. Anytime somebody's asking you to download a file, that's a potential red flag for it to be a phishing or a spear phishing attempt, because they want you to open that file, and when it does, it's going to run a script on your computer and install something that you don't want to be there. Anything else related to phishing that you'd like to share, Jeremy?
This is just such a common attack vector now across the cybersecurity landscape, right? Like they have these automated platforms that can send out these phishes. And oftentimes it's not directed at you or the business or any of that. It just, they come out, they take all different forms. When we were running red team assessments and social engineering assessments for banks back in the day, and even some of the way that our operators do it today, we'll send out like free Subway coupons, right? Who doesn't like a free sandwich? Click on this link, get your free Subway coupon. You'd be surprised how often that one hooked someone, right? And we're talking about phishing. But just be vigilant. Also, in almost any internet or email browser, you can hover over a link or an attachment and just hover your mouse there. And it's going to pop up a window for you that shows you the full URL. Read through those URLs. If it looks suspicious, if it doesn't look like the right domain or internet page, the web address, don't click on it. It's okay to be vigilant, even over paranoid about a lot of this stuff.
Absolutely. Yep. And again, those are things that should be part of your training when you're training new and ongoing employees. That's a bread and butter part of your training, or it should be. So as we wrap up, this is something that you should have access to, and if you don't, we'll be sure that you do in the folder. But this is a great tool from the SBDC, and it's a planning tool that you can use to think about some of these things that we've talked about today, and what your organization specifically is doing or could do to address some of them. So things related to computer security, password security, internet security, data security, and smartphone security. Thank you, Andy. And so this actually comes from an online course called Small Business Big Threat that the SBDC offers. It's a great course if you want to learn more about some of these things, and also specific things you can do in your specific business.